Kia ora koutou katoa. I am Satya Ashok, Executive Director at Social Enterprise Auckland, and it is my pleasure to be here today in the midst of unprecedented global times. Social Enterprise Auckland is a collaborative project that builds momentum and connects social enterprises together, illuminates their stories, and amplifies investment opportunities. We are building a culture where all businesses consider creating social benefit. In this new initiative, we are creating a series of discussions and conversations with people in different parts of the social enterprise ecosystem to tap their expertise, hear their stories, and look to learn from them. These discussions are not designed to be in-depth ones. They are meant to be relatively short conversations that leave the maximum impact. Today, we are joined by Marcus Powell, founder and CEO at Crescendo Trust. My pleasure to welcome you to the series, Marcus.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you. So I'll introduce myself. So yeah, I'm Marcus Powell. I'm the founder of the Crescendo Trust of Aotearoa, and essentially we're a mentoring service for youth between 12 and 24, and they're from various backgrounds, whether they're disimpoverished or disengaged, or actually they're doing quite all right. We have an all-inclusive environment, but the biggest part of what we do is help young people shift their self-worth, their self-belief patterns, and find employment opportunities, educational pathways, and just create a safe environment where they feel, you're safe, nurtured, that they know that there's people like us that care and love them, and do our best to guide them and influence them, and present them with as many options as we can, so that they can have a very clear view of their future and make the choices that they need to make.
Thank you, Marcus. What was the drive to start your social enterprise?
Currently, the Crescendo Trust of Aotearoa has been operating as a charity for a very long time, and the inspiration behind it was, I guess my background is has been as a musician in the music industry for various bands like Blind Spot, Blacklist, and City of Souls, and I've had different levels of success throughout my career. But a few things through my journey really stood out for me, and I had really key people that presented me with choices. So I'm very aware of the choices that I made, and very grateful for those people for popping up at particular times. I was doing some work with the New Zealand Music Commission, mentoring in schools, and I helped this young woman really shift her self-worth and her self-belief, and it was simple ingredients. It was just love, time, and my particular skill sets, which involve production, audio engineering, songwriting, art and photography. So as a musician, one that gets to a particular level, you're not just producing and songwriting, you're treating yourself as a business. So you have to be quite self-directed, and you have to be a problem solver. Those are the skill sets that I shared with the young person. So this person in particular was getting bullied in her classroom, not just by the students, but I felt like there was a weird dynamic between her and the teacher. So when I sat down with her and listened to her music, I was like, why aren't you participating more? Let's write a song together. And we did that. And she presented this CD that I made for her with the song that we wrote together to the teacher, and the teacher didn't fully believe that this was a product that she made, and said, well, if this is yours, then can you sing it? And she was so nervous, and I said, look, we'll do it. And I just said to this young woman that, look, I'll play the guitar and I'll sing along, and you just jump in whenever you feel comfortable. So it was in that moment when I started playing, and then she slowly came in, and then by the end of it, she was owning it. And that was a real turning point for me. I got a lot of happiness and joy from seeing this young person shift their self-worth and the dynamic in the class changed. The students felt like they could connect young women. The teacher, she shifted her view on how she could connect as well. So yeah, that was a real turning point for me, and that led me down the path of youth work and educating myself around that kind of social work. But Crescendo Trust, we formed it in 2012, and we've been operating since as a charity. But over the years, and as we apply for funding, and as our work grows, and as our mentors go further and further out, and the team grows, we slowly recognize that funding rounds aren't sustainable. So we set up Crescendo Entertainment Group as a limited liability to commercialize a lot of what we do. So essentially, that's kind of where we landed, and then that's the journey of the Crescendo Trust of Aotearoa to now.
Lovely story, Marcus, and definitely an empowering one that you put across. I have so many questions. One is, how does the mentoring process work? How do you identify the young people that you're going to work with, and how long does that mentoring support enable them? Is it for a year? Is it through the school system? How does it work?
Okay, so with the mentoring service, I think our key point of difference is that we pay our mentors well, and the mentors that we pay are industry professionals. So we stepped out of hiring youth workers, and we do have social workers, but it's the mentors that come from the particular industry that they're in. That is the key for giving the young people transitional skills and clearer pathways. And with the mentoring service that we provide, the young person will come in from various avenues. So whether it's through the Youth Justice and Custody program, or through Oranga Tamariki, high schools, alternative education providers, or just word of mouth and contacting us through our Facebook page. We have a very strong kaupapa, and we stick to that. And it's an all-inclusive environment. I believe everyone is a child of Mother Earth, and we have this open door policy where everyone is welcome, and whatever your religious beliefs, your political views, your ethnicity, your sexuality, your gender, it's welcomed here, and we're going to show you unconditional love, and that's heart of the Christians of Aotearoa, and that's how we induct a young person into our services. And the length of a mentoring, I guess, relationship can be anywhere between 3 to 6 months to 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and onwards. There's still young people that are working with us that they've been with us for 5 years, and I hope that never changes, because the way that we operate is kind of like a family, and with the kaupapa that we carry, that's kind of where we find the real shift and the real change in the young person's life. I would hope that if my daughter got to an age where she needed that support, that there were people out there that could give her that, if I wasn't able to provide it, or my partner. But the mentoring service, our mentors are guys that are recording professionals, so producers, audio engineers, live sound engineers, photographers, videographers. We use music as a hook, and the audio engineers that we employ are guys that have had a high level of success in the industry, so they know the ins and outs. They know how to treat themselves as a business. They know how to turn their product into income, and they just understand their craft and what it takes to get there. So those are the skill sets that I look for. And then once we have those mentors within the Crescendo Trust, that's when I upskill them into youth work and social services.
And my next question was related to the entertainment group. So when was the entertainment group set up, and what is the business model for it? And are you going to channel most of the profits from that group into the trust? How's that going to work?
Yeah, the Crescendo Entertainment Group is it's just a recent thing. So it hasn't been in existence for too long. But there's a lot of work that we have been doing as a charity, which I felt we were unfairly getting paid for, treated as a charity, where the people that we employ, they come from the industry. So, we should be charging what the industry pays.